foremost, to start the show with FTR versus Santana Ortiz, guys. I mean, I know that we're all plugged in on social media and we're always trying to network with people out there and talk to fellow fans, but I literally had to just put my phone down, threw it on the charger, and just sat back and watched an absolute masterpiece take place before me. Guys, you know that I love myself some tag team wrestling, Bonds. That's my bread and butter, man. And this was another example of how great storytelling can be amplified when you have four guys who are phenomenal at what they do, interacting with each other. I mean, this was fantastic. From the moment this one, the bell rang, I knew we were in for a treat.
There's some matches, man, when they're going to start, they're going to be perfect. These guys are probably my two favorite personal tag teams in AEW. So watching them just go like that was just such a blast. There we go. SPD's back. I don't know if we can hear you though.
Yes, I'm here. Right. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Bonds, Get your point. There you go. Sorry. Nice. Thank you, guys.
You're good, bro. I just think that when you have teams that are this talented in the ring and they are telling such a story that's long-term like they've been telling, this is going back months, this feud. And in the ring, obviously they sold Cash's injury
big time,
like crazy tonight. And, that was a factor.
It was.
And I like that it was important and it felt important and they've been selling it as important. And we don't really know what's next for FTR now because they've been making some weird hints on social media and some promos. And obviously we hope they're still going to be in AEW, but they might be setting up something new and going in a different direction storyline wise. And I'm all for that. I like to see them do some new stuff. And if this is the last match we get to see of the Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle mesh up between those two guys, I'm okay with it. Just because they've done such a good job selling that story to me personally.
I mean, this was the match that we deserved and wanted. Both teams were fire up, pure wrestling. I mean, I totally agree, with the commentators. The division goes through these teams for the tag division. I mean, both teams were fired up. They were dressed for war, proud and powerful. The fans were split. I mean, the fans know it. We all know it. Fans chanting FTR, some fans chanting proud and powerful. These are two teams that we love, that we want to see badly. And, they showed up. And this was the match that we were robbed of, unfortunately, last month. The chop battle between Santana and Dax was absolutely brutal. I always got to mention a good chop. But this was pure wrestle. You had to be just like beaming ear to ear crayfish because, I mean, this was a match we've been wanting and a feud that we've been very excited about for a long, long time. And I think this match delivered it. Depending on the situation and how things unfolded, leading up to this, the last match they had. But whatever it may be, we can we can end on this match and be happy with the performance from both teams.
Well, I think it's easy to say that we can end on this match. I don't know if FTR want to go out on this note.
No way. They don't want to.
Right. I'll be honest with you guys though.
Uncle Dax.
Sitting back and watching you talk, you just mentioned it, Uncle Dax, man. This Bonds, you talked about it, you highlighted it a little bit in your response. That arm injury to Cash played a role throughout this match. You could tell, there were moments when his clotheslines and forearms weren't hitting quite as much. And quite honestly, the most apparent part of that was that just workhorse Dax felt like he was in this match, 85 to 90% of this match.
He was carrying the load.
It was absolutely incredible. We talk about it week after week after week. Every time we get the chance to see Dax, for a bald guy with a beard like me, Dax is a guy who I look up to and say, like, that dude gets through it by sheer will. He's a student of the game, as JR talks about, very intelligent guy. And you could tell there was a need for him to kind of maybe pull his teammate across the finish line on this one. And he fought his butt off tonight.
Did he ever?
A lot of props to Dax and what he was able to do in this match. SPD, I know you're a big moves guy. I sat back and watched the tandem offense, the way that these guys worked poetically off of each other. Cash swinging in to cut the hot tags off. He's always so good at that. Santana catching after the big rig. that breakup of that finish was absolutely incredible. I was really I stepped back, and this is a match where truly two of the best in the world went at each other. A lot of pride on the line, and you could tell the product, in-ring product, it worked because of that. These were two teams that, injury aside, weren't going to allow anything really to get in the way of them putting on a show for the fans. And it was an incredible way to get, I think, PNP that much more over. Really a great showing tonight.